Welcome to AiTales, the YouTube channel where imagination and technology merge to bring you captivating stories like never before. Let's begin. In the city of New Haven, Connecticut, a dark cloud hung over the police force. It wasn't just the crime that was causing concern, but also the rumors of a bad cop working with the drug dealers. No one knew who this cop was or how long they had been operating, but the evidence was piling up. The police department was determined to root out this corrupt officer, but they didn't know where to begin. Detective Jacob Wilson had been with the New Haven Police Department for over 10 years. He had seen his fair share of corrupt cops and drug dealers, but he had never seen anything like this. The city was being overrun by a new drug called Blue Thunder, and it seemed like no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't stop it. Wilson knew that the only way to make a dent in the drug trade was to find the source. Wilson had been working on the case for months, gathering evidence and following leads, but he kept hitting dead ends. It was as if someone was always one step ahead of him. One day, he received an anonymous tip that led him to a rundown warehouse on the outskirts of town. Wilson knew that this was his chance to finally catch the people behind Blue Thunder. As he approached the warehouse, Wilson could hear the sound of music coming from inside. He could also smell the distinct odor of marijuana. He knew that he had to be careful, so he called for backup. The police department sent in a SWAT team, and they surrounded the building. Wilson and the SWAT team stormed the warehouse, guns were drawn. They found themselves face to face with a group of drug dealers, including the infamous Tony the Snake Salvatore. Salvatore was known for his ruthlessness and his ties to organized crime. Wilson had been trying to take him down for years. But as they searched the warehouse, Wilson couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. It was too easy. They had found the drug dealers and the drugs, but there was no sign of the cop who was supposedly working with them. As they were about to leave, Wilson noticed a door that he hadn't seen before. He signaled to the SWAT team, and they forced the door open. What they found inside shocked them. It was a secret room, hidden behind a false wall. And inside that room was the cop they had been looking for. Wilson couldn't believe his eyes. The cop was his partner, Officer David Johnson. Johnson had been on the force for almost as long as Wilson, and they had worked together on many cases. Wilson had always trusted Johnson, but now he realized that he had been fooled. Johnson had been working with the drug dealers for years, providing them with inside information and protecting them from the police. He had been taking bribes and making deals, all the while pretending to be a loyal officer. Wilson was sickened by the betrayal. Johnson was arrested and charged with corruption, drug trafficking, and obstruction of justice. He was stripped of his badge and sent to prison for life. Wilson was hailed as a hero, but he couldn't shake the feeling of guilt. He had been working with Johnson for years, and he had never suspected a thing. He wondered how many other corrupt officers were out there, hiding in plain sight. The city of New Haven slowly began to recover from the damage caused by Blue Thunder and the corrupt cop. But Wilson knew that the scars would last a long time. He had lost his trust in the police force, and he knew that many others felt the same way. He vowed to do everything in his power to rebuild that trust, to make sure that the people of New Haven knew that the police were on their side. It would take time, but Wilson knew that he had to start somewhere. He began by reaching out to the community, attending town hall meetings, and speaking with local business owners. He wanted to show them that the police force was committed to making the city safer and that they were willing to work together to achieve that goal. Wilson also worked closely with his fellow officers to make sure that they were all held to the highest standards of integrity and honesty. He knew that one bad cop could do a lot of damage, so he made it a priority to weed out any officers who were not up to the task. Over time, the people of New Haven began to see a change. They saw that the police were no longer just focused on catching the bad guys, but on building relationships with the community. They saw that the police were working hard to earn their trust, and they responded by being more willing to work with the police to keep their neighborhoods safe. As for Wilson, he continued to work tirelessly to make New Haven a better place. He knew that he could never undo the damage that had been done, but he was determined to make sure that it never happened again. He became a mentor to younger officers, teaching them the importance of honesty and integrity. Years went by, and the memory of the corrupt cop and the drug dealers began to fade. New Haven had become a safer place, thanks in no small part to the efforts of Detective Jacob Wilson. He had proven that one person could make a difference, that even in the face of betrayal and corruption, there was always hope for a brighter future. And that's it for today's story, brought to you by AiTales. We hope you enjoyed listening to this captivating tale brought to life by our cutting-edge AI technology. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing storytelling videos. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on the latest tales we have to offer. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of the AiTales community. We can't wait to share more stories with you in the future.